Welcome to Undrafted Hockey Fan. We're talking about the New York Rangers now. This is actually be a pretty easy video because they just lost a bunch of people and they signed a couple people and no big trades or anything. So we're gonna go over them and it's pretty status quo with them. We know they're gonna make the playoffs. We know for sure they're gonna make a playoffs. One of the best teams in the Metro Division. One of the best teams in the Eastern as well. Didn't do fare well against the New Jersey Devils last year, losing in the first round. But, we'll see what it is. So, I mean, there are some pretty notable losses here, though, because they did end up losing. They traded for Patrick Kane. They lost him. By the way, he did get hip surgery, so he could come back later in the season. He hasn't signed with anyone at this point. So we could see Patrick Kane return to the New York Rangers. So we'll see what happens there. Let me know what your thoughts. If you want him back, let me know if you want him back or not. If you were happy with his performance, as well as Tarasenko. By the way, you can't re-sign him. He's with Ottawa, and I just did that video about 10 minutes ago. So if you want to watch that, it'll be uploaded on the channel, so you can check it out. So by the way, we are going through all 32 teams. I'm going Z to A. So we just start off with Winnipeg. We are now all the way up to the New York Rangers. So if you like any of the other teams that are below this, go check them out. If not, they'll be posted before the start of the season. So we'll be going over the off-season a little bit as well as the up-and-coming season. What I'm thinking, and like I just told you, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they had some pretty notable losses, but they can make some trades at the trade deadline. So we'll see what ends up happening with them and what moves they end up making. Again, so two losses they had was Patrick Kane, Vladimir Tarasenko, Nico Mikkola from the St. Louis Blues. He traded in the Tarasenko deal, and Tyler Mott. Some of the big notable additions that they had this year: Blake Wheeler, who was bought out by the Winnipeg Jets this year, Jonathan Quick, who is on his first team outside of LA Kings, so he'll be playing backup for the Shesterkin. Shesterkin. Ooh. So, Nick Bonino on that bottom line. Eric Gustafson, a little bit of offensive defenseman, bottom pair probably. As well as drafting Gabe Perreault in the first round this year. A great pickup for them. And I'm glad they actually used their first round pick as opposed to trading it off. They were able to use one. So, exciting for them. So, let's jump over to the cap friendly just so you can see what they have here. So again, they have no cap space, so they at this point they cannot sign anyone. So I'm curious on what they're gonna do. Hopefully they do sign someone for the off season, or not for the off season, for the trade deadline, but they're gonna have to be moving some money out with that, and as well as I imagine some picks. But they do have all three of their first round picks. They're a little low on second round picks and a little low on third round picks. But those are, so you're starting to lose some firepower there. But again, if they end up moving these and decide, hey, this is an all-in year, which it did feel like an all-in year, but I get picking up Patrick Kane and Tarasenko. So we'll see if they end up picking up some guys that maybe will stay a little bit longer. But again, most of their team is already pretty set up already, and that's kind of what I want to jump over. Actually, I'm going to jump over to the daily face stuff just so you can see a better visual of kind of my first impressions. Hey, let's go right off the bat, right? Chris Kreider, great goal scorer. Mika Zibanejad, phenomenal player. I'm a big fan of him. I can't say anything more. Capo Caco playing on the first line. By the way, this is not. I was surprised when I saw this at first. The New York Rangers the Daily Faceoff has him there, as well as the cap friendly as well, playing on the first line. So you're seeing him go from the third line playing with Philip Cheadle as well as Lafreniere, and now he's up to the first line. I think that's awesome. I think that'd be huge for him. I could also see Blake Wheeler playing up there as well. I am not sure. I really like it. I really hope they start him out there so they can see, really get his confidence going, really jumpstart his career. I know he hasn't had the good development based on his draft year, I'd say. And I know same thing with Lafreniere, but I would really love to see Capo Caco play up there and really get, again, just jumpstart it, right? And if he starts playing well and starts to slow down a little bit, knock him down to the second line and then bring Blake Wheeler up, right? But I think he needs to start becoming a staple on this team. So I'm excited for him to play up there. Panarin, phenomenal. Trocheck, great. Wheeler is nice because if Trocheck gets kicked out of the circle, Wheeler can jump in and play center as well. So good, nice pick up there. I'm surprised he's playing on the third line or the second line. But again, he puts a point, so I guess I'm not too surprised though. Lafreniere, Cheadle, 2/3 of the The kid line playing with Jimmy VC. Jimmy VC's really found his position there. Again, Cheeto's playing well. Lafreniere, again, this is a breakout year for Lafreniere, so we're expecting him to put up some big points this year. So hopefully we can see him do that. Barclay Goodrow and Nick Bonino, again, a good pickup. Pitlick, great pickup as well. So I want to go over some of the points again, just to show you who is doing the breakout seasons here and who is playing well. And I mean, look at it, 36 goals by Kreider, 39 by Zibanejad. I mean, Zibanejad putting up 1.1 goals per points per game, phenomenal. Again, with that production up there for these you'll expect Capo to just burst out in the scene. I mean, you look at the time played, by the way, almost 20 minutes, a little over 18 minutes, and only 15 minutes here. That is third line minutes right there. So you give him up a couple more minutes a game. I mean, his production is going to go up like crazy. So I really hope Kakko really gets the opportunity here. So anyways, next on to Panarin. Again, another 1.12, even better than 1 point over Zibanejad, and on a second line, playing again similar minutes though, of course, on that first power play. So makes sense. Look at 63 assists, phenomenal. So I mean, Panarin, I mean, what can you say right there? I mean, I like this core that they have here. Trocheck is good as well. Blake Wheeler's going to fit in really well there. Again, it plays center, can play center as well, and they can swap there. So I like that. And he's bigger too, right? You have this ends up adding a little bit of size to this line too. You can see 5'11" Panarin, Trocheck only 5'10", 6'5" Blake Wheeler. That'll be your grit guy. Your go after it. I like this pickup really big. I think that's really great for them. So. Again, Lafreniere, for a first overall pick, you'd like to see a little more production, but he has to break out this year. 21 years old. I mean, he's still young, super young, just re-signed. But I think you want to see that really a breakout year for a kid like him. Cheeto was injured last year, but I think that he's going to play really well. I mean, good point production. Look at that, 0.6 points per game. I like that for them as well. And Goudreau getting a little bit higher up in the lineup. He's still with the team. He signed that big contract when he won out of Tampa Bay. And that third line, and they get your bottom line. It is what it is, you know. There's not a bad bottom line. Get your veteran Nick Bonino. I mean, they're all veteran players, so they're going to be playing more of the defensive role, and point production is not really what you're looking for at this point for them. So moving on to the defense, one of the best defense in the league, in my opinion, with this top four: Ryan Lindgren, Adam Fox. I mean, come on, Keandre Miller, Trouba. I mean, Gustafson's a great little pickup. I think he'll be a good little add. And then Braden Schneider. So going over some of their points and their setups and everything. So clearly Ryan Lindgren playing that defensive defenseman. Great pickup there. So, and then of course Adam Fox. I mean, what more to say about Adam Fox? I mean, Norris winner. I mean, come on. No complaints here for him at all. So Keandre Miller, I think he just signed a deal recently, actually. So that's, I mean, I think he's awesome. I think he's going to be a huge staple. And only at 23 years old. Captain Jacob Trouba. I'd like to see a little more production out of him, but again, he's your hard hitter. I mean, for 6'3", he hits like a truck, man. You can see the highlights there for sure. Eric Gustafsson, again, your offensive defenseman. Look at this. 42 points in 70 games last year with Toronto and the Capitals. Great little pickup for them in the playoffs. And then Braden Schneider. So another little piece of the pie right there. So going over goalies here. Shesterkin, what more you have to say about Shesterkin playing 58 games last year? Awesome. Huge workload right there. I mean, and a 2.48 and a 0.916. I mean, this 0.196 is where 0.916 is where you want to be. This is your top 2-3 goalie in the league. I mean, you probably have him with like Sorokin, Vasilevsky, and Shesterkin. Any order, you're probably not wrong, honestly. So great pickup. I like that. And the nice thing is that Jonathan Quick played 41 games for the LA Kings, and record was not great in this case, but I think with his age, he shows he can perform, especially he can show he can play in the playoffs, which again, you hopefully don't want to have to need him, right? But I think the fact is that if you have him only playing like 20, 25 games, so if Shesterkin's playing 58 games and you have Quick playing 25 games, I think that would be a huge workload off him. He'll be able to rest and be able to play at a full peak. I mean, he's a good-sized goalie, and I think he can still move, and he's only signed for 1 year. So I think it's a great pickup. So I'm really excited about this team. I think it's going to be dynamic. Again, I think they're going to make the playoffs, depending on how far they go, though, right? That Metro division is stacked. You have Pittsburgh making major moves. Carolina still a phenomenally set up team. Only added more to this year. You have Pittsburgh, you have Carolina, Islanders. I don't think they're fringe. I don't really see that. I don't see them with Washington either. But the Devils for sure. I mean, they're enemies there out in New York area, the New York, New Jersey area. The Devils are going to be tough. So, but I think those are your 4 teams right there. I mean, making it be Pittsburgh, Rangers, New Jersey Devils, and Carolina being your 4 teams. Again, I don't think Washington's has it. I don't think they have enough depth to show that they really want it at this point. They're more so going for the OV record. So, anyways, let me know what your thoughts are. Hit like, subscribe, and let me know what your I want to know. I want to know what these New York teams, this Detroit boy over here, I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on the Rangers and what you think they should do, who they should pick up, where are they weak in this? I mean, they have a great setup. I think their bottom, even their bottom looks great, especially with Lafreniere and Cheadle. So maybe you could shore up that third pairing defense, but overall, it's a pretty good setup. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit like, subscribe, and love ya.